Welcome back. There's been another incident of alcohol being sold to minors in the Eastern Cape. 2 people have been arrested after the death of 3 females at a tavern on Christmas Day, and 2 of them were under the age of 18. Reports indicate that their death could be linked to an unknown substance that was sprayed inside the tavern. In June of last year, 21 young people died at the Mgwebi Tavern in East London. So let's get some reaction now to the story from the Eastern Cape Liquor Board spokesperson, Mr. Mgwebi Msiya, who joins me this morning. Mr. Msiya, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. Your reaction as the Eastern Cape Liquor Board, again hearing of another tragic incident involving minors in as far as liquor trade is concerned, but also death.
Thank you very much, Tumelo, and the viewers of eNCA. We are very, very devastated, I must say, Tumelo. One would have thought that the Mgwebi incident was a very good lesson to many of our liquor traders. But to our surprise, here we are once again with the same kind of an incident that now took place in Hofmeyer, where 3 young people lost their lives. We are very, very, very devastated and very much concerned about the liquor traders that continue to flout the trading conditions of their liquor licenses, particularly as it relates to, to allowing young people into their liquor establishment. We here talking about out of the 3 that passed on, 2 are minors. One is 15 years old, the other one is 17 years old. That should be concerning to everyone, not only to the Eastern Cape Liquor Board, even to the members of the community, because we're still asking ourselves, how did these young people find their way into this liquor outlet to an extent that they ended up perishing like this? So we are very much concerned, but I'm happy to report that Tumelo, we have since, the arrested, SAPS has since arrested the manager of the liquor outlet together with his assistant. We are currently in the process of laying a criminal charge against the registrant, in other words, the real owner of the liquor outlet. But over and above that, for us, this is a manifestation of a bigger societal problem, because it would seem to us that underage drinking is a culture that is becoming deeply entrenched in our society.
Not only is it a culture where we're seeing young people abusing, consuming alcohol, but it seems liquor traders are profiting off it. They are unduly profiting off it. And I just wonder, Mr. Msiya, if there are any preventative measures as the Liquor Board within the Eastern Cape that you have put in place against any liquor traders from conducting such sales to minors. I'm talking about preventative here because, yes, we've heard the SAPS have conducted arrests. These came after life was lost. This comes after the sale of alcohol was already conducted. But what preventative measures have you put in place against such liquor traders?
Tumelo, we have put together a comprehensive liquor traders development program in the Eastern Cape, where we empower our liquor traders on the significance of adhering to trading conditions, on why it is important to run their businesses professionally. So from time to time, we engage them in these, conversations. We take them through various kinds of workshops where we want to ensure that they are empowered with all the information relating to the conditions of their liquor license. So all that is done. We actually are working with other stakeholders in the province, including the liquor industry and so on, to ensure that our liquor traders are empowered in understanding the importance of observing and respecting the conditions of their liquor license. So we're doing all that. That is why we are so disappointed when we still experience this kind of an incident where, we still have young people, finding their way into these liquor outlets. But we are also empowering our communities, Tumelo, to say to them, these liquor outlets operate within your environment. You are there, you must be our ears, you must be our eyes. You also have an equal responsibility as members of the community to ensure that you report these cases to the authorities, you report these cases to SAPS, to the Eastern Cape Liquor Board. So we believe that the community is not doing enough to play their role in curbing these tendencies by our liquor traders. But we're trying our level best, Tumelo, to ensure that those that are caught, in this kind of a behavior, drastic steps are taken against them. In fact, to an extent of them losing their liquor licenses.
One may wonder, where are minors finding the money to buy liquor? And I suppose this is where the parents, caregivers, the community can be of assistance here, because we know that some minors are sent by their parents, they're sent by some adults in the community to go buy alcohol in some of these establishments. Any conversations you're having with communities around the dangers of sending, minors? I mean, I'm not even sure if minors can say no. If you are taught from a young age to respect your elders when you're being sent to the store or to do something, you do it without asking questions. It almost says to the child, I have no right in this context to question an adult sending me to buy alcohol. So therefore, the power and the onus remaining with the caregiver, the parent, the adult who is sending that child to a tavern, for example. And I just wonder, Mr. Msiya, any conversations, any programs whatsoever you're having with communities around the dangers of exposing and exploiting minors around taverns and around alcohol?
We do, Tumelo, on a regular basis when we engage communities. It's one of the messages that we put across to say to the parents, please refrain from sending your minors to purchase alcohol on your behalf. This is unacceptable. So this is the message that we always put across. And when we interact with the communities, when we conduct the community engagement sessions, it's one of the messages that we emphasize, that please never send your minors to purchase alcohol on your behalf. But you're also saying to the liquor traders, never sell alcohol to someone that you can see that they are still minors, they are still under the age of 18. But I do think it's important for us to also highlight one very important effect here, Tumelo, that what we're also picking up is that although alcohol is predominantly accessible in the taverns, etc., but there is also a disproportionate amount of alcohol that is accessible within the family settings, amongst the parents, etc. So, for instance, sometimes we find parents to be negligent when it comes to monitoring their young people when they are conducting their own, ceremonies within the family context, etc. So we're saying, the parents have a big responsibility to play here by also ensuring that they educate their young ones, they protect their young ones against, the temptation of experimenting with alcohol, etc. But also monitoring these liquor outlets. These liquor outlets are approved by the communities, by the way, to them. Is this the community that will approve an outlet within their respective area? So they still have an equal responsibility to monitor the liquor outlet, to ensure that the liquor outlet doesn't deviate from the conditions that have been set up for them, particularly when it comes to selling to underage people. But again, the issue of pocket money, I think it's a great concern to us again. We're saying to parents, please don't give your young ones excessive amounts of pocket money. Because what we also found out is that often these young people have got a lot of money in their pockets.
Right.
And in that case, they become tempted to then buy alcohol, etc. So we're saying to parents, please restrain yourself from giving your children excessive amounts of pocket money, because they end up using that money to purchase alcohol.
Well, we leave it there, and I appreciate you, of course, adding your voice and speaking to us. Eastern Cape Liquor Board spokesperson Mgwebi Msiya, thank you so much for your time.